So 6 smoking hot food trends to try in 2022. So we'll see how smoking hot they are. I don't know what this is, but this looks good. So in just a couple of years, the Bay Area's culinary landscape has changed dramatically. So is this specifically the Bay Area? Let's see, focused on in-person dining to one... sorry. Just a couple of years, the Bay Area's culinary landscape has changed dramatically from one focused on in-person dining to one in which cozy take-home and delivery options and health-conscious eats reign supreme. Very true. Very true. And I think, honestly, we're seeing more, quote-unquote health-conscious food because I think, when everything shut down because of COVID, a lot of us, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I know for myself and other people that I know, a lot of us turn to comfort food, which is not always the healthiest choice. So I almost feel like we're going to see a trend of people being like, all right, I need to eat healthy again. I can't just sit at home in my PJs eating, sweets or whatever your comfort food is. So let's take a peek. This is saying this entire year are food trends that we should keep an eye out for. That's kind of a bold statement, I think, but we'll see. We'll see if they keep on for the entire year. African foodways. Is that plantain? Or is that just a green banana? Significant East African population of the Bay Area has engendered dozens of stellar Ethiopian restaurants from San Fran to San Jose. But considering the diversity and size of the African continent and its diaspora, it's a mystery why so few restaurants specializing in other food traditions exist and why those that do, including Oakland's Leaky and SF's Radio African Kitchen, have struggled to survive. Over the last several months and looking forward to 2022, that tide is finally turning in West Oakland, the Jolly Jolly Coffee and Kitchen. What? Sorry, I had the name coffee in it and I got super hyped. I just saw coffee and I got so excited. I have a problem. He specializes in Nigerian dishes as Jollof? Somebody help me out. And oh boy, I'm not gonna pronounce that. I don't want to butcher it. It's made with seeds and leafy vegetables. Is coming up on its first anniversary. The Oakland Food Hall has recently welcomed 2 ghost restaurants. This is the trend, right? The ghost kitchens, the ghost restaurants. That's what's trending right now. And I'm wondering how many places are gonna switch to it, because you can really cut down on labor if you don't have the whole front of house staff, which is unfortunate because it's like bread and butter for the restaurants. I feel like is that face-to-face interaction is so important. Let's see, Pan-African comfort food. It's in East Oakland, 2-year-old Nigerian cafe Roos Oka is still going strong. Well, that's a dope. It's always nice to see restaurants that aren't just the same, for different ethnicities, different regions and stuff really start to thrive. I feel like for the longest time, you see this a lot of times and you still see it with Asian food, like Chinese, Japanese, whatever, is there's all these really amazing restaurants and they always get hammered with why is this so expensive when I can go to Panda Express and get a huge platter of something for $12. And a lot of people don't understand how much work and effort goes into making, all the food, even for, Chinese restaurants that are catering towards American palates. Their menus are huge. Their menus are huge and their portion sizes are huge and they're always super cheap. And then you start to see, some of these newer restaurants, or a lot of these younger chefs who are trying to kind of dig back into for lack of a better term, dig back into the roots and kind of really showcase food from from where they're from, or where their families are from, or where their ancestors are from, and people are kind of getting upset because of the prices. Exactly, Soul. Most authentic Asian-style restaurants import their ingredients. That's true. They do. And even the ones that don't, like I said, like the Chinese restaurants that have, like 50 different variations of sauces and proteins and stuff, and people are like, why is it so expensive? And it's just like, that's a lot of work to make all that. Like, they have to pay somebody to make all of this stuff. But you're right, there are a lot of places that will import their stuff, or make it from scratch, and it's a lot of work. And that stuff costs a lot of money to bring in. I did work at an Asian restaurant at one point where we got hammered with that all this time, and we were bringing in authentic ingredients. We had one purveyor that would bring in stuff that, essentially, from my understanding, somehow this guy was growing, like, smuggled seeds into the U.S. and was growing these crops that you normally wouldn't be able to find here. And then he would ship them out through this purveyor to us. I don't really know how that worked. I don't know how true it was, but that's what I was told by my boss. So, yeah, it's expensive, and there's a lot of labor and a lot of love that goes into it. And so it's always really nice to see places, like mentioned in this article or other ones succeed. Because I feel like it really paves the way for seeing more. It's not a great word, and it's not a word I would like to use, but I can't think of a better word for it, but more of like a quote-unquote authentic experience, and I feel like that takes away from what they're doing, because authentic is not the word that I want to use, but I don't have anything better off the top of my head. But it's nice to see this kind of stuff really come to the forefront. Most non-native seeds are like banned because of invasive species stuff. Yeah, but what I don't understand is like, how is he still growing it? Like, is it like once it's here and nobody cares? That's what I don't get. I don't know how that works, because he was growing it in Florida, so I don't know if it was just like, well, he's got it in here already, so let him grow it and sell it. I don't know. You don't know how the agriculture part of that stuff works? Yeah, I'm not, I know a little bit because my dad works in agriculture, but I don't know, a ton. Every now and then I'll remember and ask him questions, but most of the time I just don't think about it. Plant-based everything. I think this kind of goes back to what I was mentioning before, is a lot of people were eating so unhealthy, their comfort foods and stuff, and now people are like, shoot, I gotta eat vegetables. Could we use saying under a different name? That's true. I didn't think about that, because we ordered it by the name, so I don't know how it all worked. This is every indication that 2022 will be a great year of plant-based eating. It has already hit the mainstream big time, with plant-based options appearing everywhere, from McDonald's and KFC to Bay Area staples. Oh, plant-based as in okay, vegan options too. I just thought it meant lots of vegetables. I completely misinterpreted that. Sure to make the biggest splash this year is the eagerly anticipated all veggie Little Saint from Michelin Star Team Single Thread. This is kind of getting big, because you see it in the this article says, you see it in the big stream food chains with their plant-based stuff. So I don't really under the veggie-based stuff when 90% of it is worse for you because they're so full of other stuff. Yeah. So this is one thing that I never really understood about people that are vegan. I don't care, if you're vegan, vegetarian, whatever. What I do have a problem is when people try to push their ideals onto me, and a lot of people be like, oh, you would be so much healthier if you were vegan, and I was just like, well, why are you sick all the time? So I don't understand it really from a health point of view. I do understand the plant-based stuff from an environmental standpoint, especially the vegan seafood options that have been coming out. We talked about vegan seafood several weeks ago, and it kind of opened my eyes to I know like overfishing and stuff like that is a problem, but I didn't think there was going to be an alternative. And I mean, there's plant-based seafood, which I found really interesting, and I would definitely be interested in trying, vegan shrimp and other options like that, just to see comparatively what it's like. But from an environmental standpoint, like it makes sense to me. But yeah, but from the health standpoint, see, vegetarian lamb, vegan coffee bar. Okay. So this is stuff that I don't get. Is like I don't want to eat vegetarian stuff. It's like this is supposed to taste and feel and look like chicken. I want a vegetarian meal that is so good that I would choose to not eat chicken. I don't want a replacement. I want something that I would choose over it. And when somebody makes something like that, like I'm so down. There is a vegan restaurant around here that is so good, and they were doing takeout or delivery only for a while. And so I stopped ordering from them because it was taking like an hour and a half to 2 hours to get my sandwich, and I was like, this is too long for a sandwich. But they are so good, and their bread was top tier. My thing is, if you don't want scientists to mess with veggies which you eat, why do you want them to mess with meat that others eat? Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it sometimes. Ube? Oob? That's gotta be ube, right? Ube? Anyway, I believe this is a yam, though. This was really popular a while ago, right? I remember it being... Was it an ice cream? I can't remember, but it's purple. It's like a purple potato or a yam. Yeah, purple yam. Filipino food captured the Bay Area zeitgeist starting around 2016. Okay, I vaguely remember this. A second wave centered around the purple yam originating in the island nation is afoot, and not just at restaurants and cafes dedicated to Filipino cuisine. It's currently worming its way into everything from cocktails to pastries. A vibrant, find the former in Wild Hawk's Mekong Sleepwalker, a vibrant coconut milk and whiskey colada, and in Kona Street Market's Red Blue, a 7-7 big drink winner made with aged rum, coconut cream, and pineapple. A lot of coconut going on. The latter, you'll find a massive range of sweet treats from ube tres leches cake to tiramisu. Menu at the brand new East Bay Sensation Cafe 86. On the dessert menu, Rising Star Chef Ravi Kapoor's new Pan South Asian Heritage Restaurant. Good Culture Club. Above all, don't miss Abaca's various takes on the tuber. Sweet and savory prep, like crispy octopus, ube, savory grapes, and patis mini slaw. I kind of am interested to see what it tastes like. Like, does it just taste like a sweet potato? Does it have a unique taste? Or is it like the big draw of this? The color. It's a super dope color, for sure. And it looks like this looks really pretty. Not the avocado. God, I wish I could eat avocado. I've been really craving avocado lately. Ghost Kitchens. Pizzas look good. The pandemic didn't create the Ghost Kitchen, sometimes called the Cloud Kitchen. I don't think I've ever heard it called a Cloud Kitchen, but it just turned the concept takeout and delivery only restaurants working out of a co-cooking facility from a small scale venture to an industry worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, these things are popping off, and I feel like for the good and the bad. I do feel like that a lot of big brands are using them to circumvent people. Like they're like, oh, they're not going to order from Applebee's, but they'll order from Big Juicy Burger, which is really just Applebee's in disguise. Which I like. To me, I just feel like it's a lie. But it does give another alternative option on a much smaller scale to open up your own quote unquote restaurant, which is kind of nice. So yeah, on the one hand, they give food entrepreneurs the ability to launch a business with limited startup funds, which in turn leads to more innovation, creativity, and representation in the restaurant industry. On the other hand, with no brick and mortar space, they're difficult to market and must rely on delivery apps to take a chunk of their profits. So I've actually been talking with a friend of mine about opening one of these with him, and this is something that we also talked about, was you lose the face-to-face, right? Because when you have a full-scale sit-down restaurant or even a food truck, you have a face-to-face interaction where you can win a customer over with your service and the food. It's like a dual combo, right? But when it's a ghost kitchen and you're strictly relying on the delivery, for one, the product is never as good as it is going into that box, right? Like, it's not, it sits in a car for 30 minutes or more inside of this box where it's sort of just, it either gets cold or, soggy because of the steam, and it just, so that, like, to-go food is so complicated because there's so many different problems that arise. One is, like, once it leaves the restaurant, right? We can't do anything about it. The restaurant, like, we put it in the box as neat as you can put stuff into a box or a Tupperware container, whatever, whatever vessel it is, right? And then once it goes through our door into the hands of the driver or delivery person, what have you, we don't know what happens to it, right? They could be swinging that shit around. They could be shaking it. They could throw it in the air. We don't know. There's no way for us to know. And so then it will get delivered to a person and they'll be like, why is this a mess? Why is this a mess? And you're just like, we can't do anything about it. So you lose that. You lose, one, the freshness of the food, and two, you lose that face-to-face. So it definitely is like, you really have to figure out a good way to market. And luckily there are a lot of ways that I've seen people use, like people using TikTok to market the restaurant. They'll take shots of stuff. What up, Silent? How you doing? They'll take videos of them making food, customer interactions, all kinds of stuff. So there's different ways for sure to market it, but again, you're losing that face-to-face. So you have to find another way to have that customer interaction. Which really the only way is through social media right now. I at least personally, I think so. Unless you can figure out some way to do, like a pop-up restaurant where you can invite people, guests to come in, and you can have a little face-to-face time, which I think would be a really good way to do it, because then you get the face-to-face time, like with a customer, and you, the chef or owner or whatever, and you can kind of help drum up business that way. Ghost kitchens, like the Oakland Food Hall, all-day kitchens, and local kitchens, are poised to continue growing in 2022. That's no surprise. Non-alcoholic spirits and wine. I didn't know about non-alcoholic wine, but I do know that, like, I feel like I've been seeing more and more non-alcoholic cocktails and stuff like that, which is super dope. Like, it's nice to be able to go somewhere and still be able to have, like, a good drink, even if you don't consume alcohol. So this is actually really exciting. There's actually a TikToker that I follow that makes non-alcoholic cocktails, and his comments are always super toxic, but he always approaches it with, like, really well and really and I have a lot of respect for it. See, alcohol isn't exactly out in 2022, but NA spirits and wine are quickly gaining ground. Restaurants, new and old, fancy and down to earth, are expanding their bar programs to include beautifully crafted mocktails. I'm curious to know if this is a accepted term by professionals or not, because this is how I know them, is by mocktails, but I don't like using the word, and I wonder how accepted it is, because it's like, it sounds it just sounds like a derogatory word, like mocktail. Most people just like to have the taste of the drink. Yeah, exactly. Welch's grape juice is a non-alcoholic wine. Yo, you're right. They just call them virgin drinks. That's what I know my ass. Yeah, but they're like, it's definitely expanding, like, because they're making cocktails that aren't like specifically like, this is a virgin daiquiri. It's like its own thing, kind of. And I don't know. I kind of get excited about it because I don't drink a lot really anymore. I'll drink like if my kid is out visiting her mom for the week and I know that I don't have that like immediate responsibility. But like since I've been having her since school's back in person and stuff, and like she hasn't really gone to visit her mom since winter break. And I don't think even then I really drank anything. I just don't really drink. So it would be nice to have like another option, I guess, to still be able to like kind of just kick back, relax, and have something that's delicious. It's not just like a soda. At late 2021, newcomer Ocean Beach Cafe developed an hour-long bar tasting experience featuring everything from NA beers and wines, NA aperitifs and digestifs. Try the Mezcal Madre on a list of 50 most iconic cocktails. Wait, what? Is this non-alcoholic? I don't think you can call it the Mezcal Madre if it's non-alcoholic. Anyway, that's a weird like plug. Growing range of bottled and canned NA spirits and wines are also emerging from local distillers and vintners. Former wine professionals. Michelin-starred juggernaut, the French Laundry, just released All the Bitter. One of NA bitters made from organic and wild foraged ingredients, like dandelion, burdock. Yo, the French Laundry, let's go. Burdock root. I have their cookbook. It's fucking wild. It's absolutely bonkers. Let's see. Chardonnay blend minus the alcohol. I'm actually really curious to know about this. Maybe we'll look at this tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Then, but for next stream, maybe we'll take a little dive into non-alcoholic wines. Yeah. I don't word so good. Oh yeah, the soft seltzers. I forgot all about the seltzers. All right, moving on to gourmet snacks and condiments. What is that? Is it just like a pot de creme? Restaurants still haven't recovered from pandemic-related shutdowns and interruptions, but gourmet snack shops and condiment creators are doing a brisk business, keeping us conveniently well-fed. Recent months have witnessed the arrival of a variety of new businesses that specialize in a single delicious variety of food, including Yes Pudding in the Ferry Building, which offers both savory and sweet puddings, including signature banana. Sounds bomb. Artisan condiments and take-home sides, which became increasingly accessible once the whole world found itself eating at home, also continue to rise in ever more unique and interesting ways. Among the many that have caught our eye in the recent months are the house-made bonkan and tofu from Oakland's just opened Judubu, Sichuan Sizzle Crunch from Side Hustle Condiments, and Nigerian roasted pepper Obe Ada Dindin sauce from Echo Kitchen. Yo. That pudding looks dope. Do some taste tests? Should we do some taste? Would you guys be interested? I can do taste tests if you guys. All right, if you guys insist, I'll go get some and we'll taste them on stream. Really forcing my hand here, Silent. Wait, are we talking about the pudding or the or the non-alcoholic beverages? Yeah, we'll have to take a dive into this for sure. Either way, why not both? I don't even know, where is this place at? I think this was in California. Yes, pudding. But yeah, there are a lot of this stuff too. Like you see the like the Chick-fil-A sauces and the shoot. There's like a wing joint kind of around where I live that I think just started bottling their sauces too and selling them in grocery stores around here. Just making their stuff more accessible. Just pretty interesting, I guess. Pretty cool. Especially if you like Chick-fil-A sauce. On that note, I think we'll switch over to Elden Ring.